My name is Ivan Moriarty. I'm 37 years old. I've been in Addenbrooke's since late October 2021 with Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, initially on NCCU for around 5 months, so in a kind of high dependency critical care environment, and then now a similar period of time on the Lewin ward, focusing primarily on rehabilitation. So from a very early stage, when my condition was particularly acute, I was working very closely with the physiotherapists to understand my wean off the ventilator, and also try and maintain range of movement and regaining some movement whilst I was, my nerves have been seriously damaged by my condition. So throughout my stay at Addenbrooke's, it's been very physiotherapy led. However, I've also worked with speech and language. Obviously my swallow was affected. The dietitians, making sure I didn't lose or gain too much weight. And similarly, occupational therapist. Again, focusing on quality and range of movement, even in the critical care environment. More recently on the Lewin ward, again, lots of physiotherapy, lots of working with occupational therapists on using the strength and mobility I have regained to try and start to do things that are a bit more functional, so washing and dressing, eating. Continuing to work with the dietitians whilst I weaned off my nasal gastric tube, and then ensuring I didn't, I maintained a healthy weight and diet once I was eating normal foods and normal fluids again. Whilst my swallows come back really, really well, I continue to work with speech and language on my speech, because my family had kind of recognised that perhaps my voice wasn't quite the same it was before I was poorly, and so helping me with things like projection and articulation. So I continue to have an ongoing relationship with lots of those professionals. I think I was very, very poorly, and obviously the doctors helped keep me stable. But from a relatively early stage in my recovery, in my personal view is I was kind of relatively medically stable, and actually the level of doctor intervention was quite minimal. And the majority of my time here at Addenbrooke's, both in critical care and in rehabilitation, has been driven by the therapists, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and those other professions. And so they have been the primary driver for my recovery and staying sane and getting better, and so it's been absolutely key. I was about to say between me and you, it's not between me and you, is it? That's the whole point. But I feel like those other professionals, AHP, if that's the right word, right phrase, I found it's much easier to build rapport and a really sociable level of interaction with those professionals than perhaps it is with doctors. But maybe I'll get strung up for saying that, I don't know. I just feel, they are really, really good, all of them across the board, at building a level of rapport, like fantastic bedside manner, and that's really helped me. Obviously, doctor care and nursing care has been fantastic too, but I think for me, and the peculiarities of my condition and the impact it's had on me, on my movement, that I think I'm probably a really good example of someone who has really, really, really benefited from physiotherapy, occupational therapy intervention, and all the other support that goes around it.